Jim Holt.
And I'm Bobby.
We kind of met on a blind date. I was 19, and
I was 14.
well, we didn't know that. I didn't know that at the time. She was developed. She looked mature. We all marry young in Arkansas, you know. Did I tell you we're related? No, I'm just kidding. We're not.
Were you as creeped out as I was that the heroes that helped convict Josh Duggar in his CSAM trial started courting when the man Jim Holt was 19 and the woman Bobby, who would later become his wife, was 14? My thought seeing that clip was, whoa, wait, these are the good guys? Yeah, it turns out that is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Jim Holt. The good guys are, in fact, still bad guys. The Holts were family friends of the Duggars. They were besties. And just like the Duggars, the Holt family were heavily entrenched in the IBLP. Jim Bob and Jim Holt have known each other since they were in middle school. In the documentary, Jim Holt really portrays himself as this earnest, God-fearing family man who was just trying to do the right thing. It turns out this guy is just as big of an asshole as Jim Bob. We have a lot to discuss in today's video. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. I think that overall, the docuseries Shiny Happy People was really well done. The Fundy Snark community is big. A lot of people are self-proclaimed experts. Overall, I think the people that they chose to work with for the documentary were good choices. For example, Jen from the YouTube channel Fundy Fridays. With all of that being said, sometimes in order to get a firsthand account of a situation as dark as what happened with Josh Duggar, you kind of have to make a deal with the devil. And it seems like either knowingly or unknowingly, that's exactly what Amazon did when they had Jim Holt and his wife Bobby as one of the many narrators for this docuseries. I am an outsider looking in here. I admit it. Again, just like in the last video I made on this docuseries, feel free to add any expertise that you might know or correct me if I have gotten any details wrong. So the Holt family, longtime besties of the Duggars.
That family of 8 kids are the Holts. Father Jim has known Jim Bob for years.
Jim Bob Duggar and I grew up together. We went to Shiloh Christian High School together from 7th grade on.
While Bobby Holt didn't produce quite as many offspring as Michelle Duggar, she certainly did her part for the Quiverful movement by producing 11 children herself, just shy of a dozen. Something that I find really creepy about the IBLP, or at least about the dynamic between the Holt family and the Duggars, was that if you had 2 kids born in close proximity to each other and one was male and one was female, the intent wasn't to raise your children as friends. It was a marriage path. It was complete grooming.
When we had our first daughter, it was March 1st. Well, Josh was born March 3rd.
Over the years, our relationship with him had grown. He was our first daughter's boyfriend, and we'd known him since he was a baby.
This religious organization, it seems like if you are a young girl and your family had a bunch of kids, you are probably looking for a way out once you turn 18. You probably were raising your younger siblings. The focus for you has been instilled from a very young age that the most important thing for you to do is to get married. The person that you married and the quality of their character, that is secondary or not important at all. The Holt's oldest daughter was either formally or informally betrothed to Josh Duggar because they were born several days apart. That betrothal fell apart when Kaylee Holt's parents were brought in as confidants by Jim Bob and Michelle when Josh disclosed to him what exactly he had done in 2002 and 2003.
Well, how deep do we go? Because that's a rabbit hole. That's, man.
We had known him from a baby, and he was our first daughter's boyfriend.
And Josh says something like, I'd like to know if I'd be able to court Kaylee for the purpose of marriage. And we said yes. So March 30th, 2003, when we found out, I went out to the field and just bawled. He had apparently been doing it since he was 12, but we found out about it when he was 15. So when were you going to tell us? And Michelle said, we weren't going to have them tell you guys at all. We were going to have Josh confess to Kaylee once they were married.
Kaylee Holt is lucky that her parents didn't make her marry Josh Duggar. Anna Duggar was not so fortunate. So in this documentary, we have Jim and Bobby Holt talking about all of this information they knew about Josh from 2 decades prior. Not only did they know all of this information about Josh, but they knew the lengths that Jim, Bob, and Michelle would go to not only protect Josh, but to protect their own image. While I was watching this documentary, I was thinking to myself, how did they not feel a sense of responsibility knowing that information so early on to maybe tell the production company that was thinking of platforming this family with their own reality show? How did they not feel any kind of responsibility to maybe alert the family of Anna Duggar? Honestly, even if they did, who knows if that would have mattered? The patriarchs of the IBLP movement definitely do not seem to have the best interests of their daughters in mind. But the Holts did put a stop to Josh and Kaylee's courtship, so I don't know. Jim Holt wasn't just another patriarch in the IBLP movement. He was a whole-ass state senator for Arkansas. His beliefs weren't just confined to his own household. They permeated local government. That is a big deal. According to an article put out by the Arkansas Times, they say that Jim Holt served in the Arkansas legislature from 2001 to 2006. He is perhaps best known for sponsoring a failed bill that would have restricted the teaching of evolution in public schools. He also opposed abortion access and government-subsidized health care. I don't think that anybody who watched the docuseries Shiny Happy People is under any kind of disillusionment that Jim Bob is some kind of one-off patriarch of the IBLP movement. From what we learned in this docuseries, and if you are a member of any of the Fundy Snark communities, or if you follow this movement at all, you will have learned that the IBLP is a safe haven for predators. But one might not have expected that, lo and behold, this family man who is this regretful former best friend of Jim Bob, who portrays himself in the docuseries as a family man, is actually just as big of a monster as his former bestie. And unfortunately for Amazon, all of this came to surface after they filmed the documentary. Referencing back that same article in the Arkansas Times that was published on June 6th, Bobby Holt, Jim Holt's wife and mother of their 11 children, was granted an order of protection from her husband on April 21st. The news outlet reports that court records are sparse, but it appears Bobby got a temporary order in April and was granted a longer lasting order on May 8th. While the specifics on the Holt family's case remains under wraps, in Arkansas, orders of protection can last up to 10 years. The article goes on to reveal that more court records indicate Samuel Holt, one of the couple's sons, made some sort of complaint against his dad on April 20th, the day before Bobby's complaint was filed. Samuel Holt looks to have been granted an order of protection against Jim Holt on May 8th as well. The Springdale police acknowledged this week that they answered a call involving the Holt family on April 15th, but declined to share information about it, saying that the investigation remains active. I was a little surprised that Amazon left in that part that I showed at the beginning of this video of Jim Holt acknowledging that he started courting his wife Bobby when she was 14. And he qualified that by saying it was okay because she was developed. I mean, so much cringe. Maybe this was Amazon's way of acknowledging that there is something seriously problematic about this dude. However, Bobby filing for divorce and filing for an order of protection all occurred after Amazon had already filmed. Bobby did testify in Josh's CSAM trial, and she was a pivotal part of securing a conviction. I get why they wanted to hear from the Holts, being that they were so close to the family, but Jim Holt is absolutely a problematic narrator. You guys will have to let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Reality Squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.